Imagine standing on a battlefield, surrounded by the bodies of fallen soldiers, and realizing that your only escape lies through a gate made entirely of corpses. This is no nightmare. This is the reality that Kanki created at the Battle of Kokuyou Hills. The Corpse's Gate wasn't just a symbol of Kanki's ruthlessness. It was a calculated move designed to show his enemies just how far he was willing to go. And it worked. The sheer horror of it forced Kisui to abandon his stronghold to protect Lihan, playing directly into Kanki's hands. But what kind of man devises such a strategy? And what does this say about the line between heroism and villainy in war? When it comes to anime, characters often fit neatly into categories. Heroes who fight for justice and villains who revel in chaos. But then, there's Kanki, a man who straddles the line between heroism and villainy. Kanki's journey in Kingdom is anything but straightforward. From his rise as a feared bandit leader to one of the most cunning generals in the state of Qin, Kanki's story challenges our very understanding of what it means to be a hero or a villain. But the real question is, where does Kanki truly stand? Is he a hero in disguise, or is there something much darker lurking beneath the surface? Kanki's evolution is not just about the battles he wins or the strategies he employs. It's about a man shaped by a harsh world, a man who believes that the ends justify the means, no matter how brutal those means might be. And yet, as his story unfolds, we begin to see a side of Kanki that complicates the narrative. Is he driven solely by a desire for power? Or is there a twisted sense of justice behind his actions? Kanki's story is shrouded in mystery, with much of his past left unexplored in both the anime and the manga. What we do know is that before becoming a general, Kanki was a bandit, a role he embraced with unmatched ferocity. His rise to power was fueled by a reputation for brutality, often leaving entire villages decimated in his wake. His methods were so extreme that even his allies viewed him with a mix of fear and disdain. This wasn't just a man doing what was necessary to survive. This was someone who relished in chaos and bloodshed. Without a detailed backstory in the anime, we can only speculate on what drove Kanki to such extremes. His experiences as a bandit likely taught him that mercy had no place in a world where the strong survive and the weak perish. Yet, Kanki's strategies, though brutal, were often clever, exploiting the weaknesses of his enemies in ways that others might not have considered. This blend of intelligence and ruthlessness is what made Kanki so dangerous, and it's what eventually caught the attention of those in power. As Kanki's reputation as a ruthless bandit spread, so did his influence. But it wasn't until the Battle of Kokuyou Hills that he truly cemented his place in the annals of history. Here, Kanki's unconventional strategies were on full display, tactics that defied the traditional rules of warfare. Where other generals saw honor in combat, Kanki saw only the most efficient path to victory, no matter the cost. At Kokuyou Hills, he employed psychological warfare, using deception and terror to break the enemy's spirit before they even met on the battlefield. But perhaps the most infamous of Kanki's tactics was the creation of the Corpse's Gate, a wall made entirely of the bodies of the fallen. This grotesque structure wasn't just for shock value. It was a calculated move to demonstrate Kanki's ruthlessness and force the enemy's hand. The sight of the Corpse's Gate was so horrifying that it led Kisui, a key enemy commander, to abandon his stronghold on the hill to protect Lion, leaving his forces vulnerable. This move played directly into Kanki's hands, proving that in war, fear can be just as powerful as the sword. But the truth is, even as Kanki delivered these crucial wins, his methods left a trail of horror and destruction. His soldiers, once just as feared as he was, began to see him in a new light. Not as a leader who commanded through respect, but as one who ruled through fear. The way he decimated his enemies without a second thought made even his own men wonder about the true nature of the man they followed. Yet, Kanki's victories were often so decisive that it was impossible to ignore his effectiveness. In a world where success on the battlefield could make or break a kingdom, Kanki's methods, however brutal, were tolerated. For many, the end justified the means, and as long as Kanki continued to deliver victories, his place in the hierarchy of Qin was secure. Despite his brutal tactics, Kanki's ability to inspire loyalty in his men is undeniable. But what kind of loyalty is it? Unlike Shin or Aosen, whose men follow them out of respect or shared ideals, Kanki's followers are often drawn to him by fear or a shared disdain for the established order. They see in Kanki a leader who is willing to break every rule, who won't hesitate to do whatever it takes to win, even if it means sacrificing the very principles that others hold dear. But there's another side to Kanki's leadership. His interactions with key figures like Shin reveal a man capable of deep thought and strategy, someone who understands the art of war on a level that transcends mere violence. Kanki's approach to leadership is pragmatic. He doesn't care about honor or tradition, only results. This is why his soldiers follow him. They know that as long as they're under Kanki's command, they'll be on the winning side, even if the methods are harsh. Yet, these moments also reveal the cracks in his facade, glimpses of a man who might be more than the monster he's portrayed as. In some of the quieter moments, we see Kanki reflecting on his actions, perhaps even questioning the path he's chosen. Is there a part of Kanki that desires something more? Perhaps loyalty not born of fear, but of respect? These questions linger every time he stands on the battlefield, commanding his troops to another bloody victory. So, where does Kanki truly stand? Is he the hero that Qin needs? Or is he a villain who simply happens to be on the winning side? The answer isn't clear-cut, and that's what makes Kanki one of Kingdom's most fascinating characters. He embodies the gray area between good and evil, a place where traditional labels lose their meaning. Kanki's journey from a ruthless bandit to a general of Qin is marked by bloodshed, strategy, and a disregard for the rules that govern others. But in this world, where the line between hero and villain is often blurred, Kanki stands as a reminder that sometimes the heroes we need are the ones willing to embrace the darkness to bring about the light. Perhaps Kanki's greatest strength is his ability to adapt, to see the world not in black and white, but in shades of gray, and to use that understanding to his advantage. Whether you see him as a hero, a villain, or something in between, there's no denying that Kanki's presence in Kingdom forces us to rethink what it means to be on the side of justice. But what do you think? Is Kanki a hero, a villain, or something in between? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Kingdom's most complex characters, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more content just like this.